share it.
We be live.
Okay, we 30 seconds.
Facebook Live.
Yeah,
He's in there.
on the side of the...
He's hiding.
Yeah,
I was saying, make sure he's in
He
there.
sleeps in between commercial breaks.
between
Takes a
rounding
nap.
up the crickets. Okay, we're coming in 15 seconds.
Good afternoon. Welcome to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Canada, and we've got an all-star show with an all-star cast for you this afternoon. I thought you'd like that.
All-star, yeah. Or it could be an all-star celebrity show.
An all-star, I considered celebrity
Yeah.
show, but I figured all-star.
All-star, yes. And they're not just all-stars, but repeat all-stars.
That's right.
We
That's
have
what
a-
makes them all-stars.
Actually, this is very exciting because we're doing something that I'm not quite sure I know anybody else has ever done. We've had so many amazing guests on the show. Some of them are just really good enough to bring back over and over again. And some of them that were very well-known people. So we have some celebrity guests, which we have now turned into celebrity hosts.
Oh, very nice.
I know. I'm very excited about this concept. So what we're doing is we've got some of our guests that have such good information and so many great topics that we're going to create series with celebrity hosts doing topics for 13 weeks at a time. We have two of them.
Martha Stewart?
No, she's not on the list.
I'm sorry, I was crossing my fingers. I'm actually in the studio, so you'd
Yeah.
think I'd know better. But
Yeah, but
She hasn't got back to us yet.
yeah, and
Not yet.
yeah, and we still are waiting to see if President Trump's going to give us a call today because he's here.
he might not be a big enough celebrity. I think the names we've got on today
Are better.
Trump.
Yes, they Trump. So the second half of the show, we have back with us Pete Chirino. Now get this, Pete Chirino is president of European Company. They do amazing things in the granite countertop. If you want to get stoned, you get stoned with Pete, right?
Absolutely. Hands down.
Okay, that's got to be the slogan for his series. Get
All of-
stoned with Pete.
All of his friends are smiling,
Yeah,
listening
but
right now,
it's-
because that means something totally different to them.
Yes. And he actually, I think he was the first guest we ever had on that when we came back and introduced ourselves, he just introduced himself right along with us.
Yeah, he jumped in. He was
Yeah.
taking over the show.
Yeah, and he might take over the second half of the show again.
You've been warned.
Yes. So European Company's president, Pete Chirino, will be back with us. This half of the show, though, we're delighted to welcome back Sonya Gomez. She's founder of Inspire SD Life Coach. Sonya, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
You are part of our guinea pig process here, right? We're trying something different. We came up with this idea to do a series of shows using your background and your expertise. And I want to talk about that in just a minute. But before we get to what we're doing with the series of shows, with you as a celebrity host, talk a little bit about your practice as a life coach.
Yeah, well, what I do, I'm a self-awareness coach. So it's basically helping my clients be more aware of themselves, the root causes of their problems, patterns that reappear over and over in their life. How can they be aware of that, and how can they stop these unwanted patterns in their life, basically. Helping people regain their quality of life.
So the coaching that you do, is it mostly with business people? Is that kind of the focus you have?
A lot of my clients are business people, entrepreneurs, or people who have these major responsibilities and don't know how to handle their personal life and their business life at the same time. That balance.
Something I find fascinating, the boss, the one that's in charge of the company, really doesn't have an easy place to go to talk about problems. If you own the company or you're running the company, talking with an employee is kind of off the table, right? Yeah. Sometimes family doesn't work for that. So where does one turn when you're running the company and you yourself are running into problems? You know, you're helping everybody else all day long with their problems, the business, etc. now you've got issues yourself and you're at the helm of the company. This is where you come in.
Absolutely. So there are different options. Of course, you can always seek out a therapist, a psychologist, so on. However, it takes a long time to really get to the root of a problem. When you're doing psychotherapy, it could take years. What I do, I have the ability to identify the problem early on and let them know instead of having them figure it out years later, and kind of get to the root. And
I think one of the interesting things you brought up is going to therapy, right? Now, I have spent, I don't know, maybe over $1 million on therapy. I don't know. It's been a lot. I know I've bought at least 4 therapist houses over the years, right?
Yeah.
So I've spent an amazing amount of money on therapy ever since I found out about it when I was like 11. So I love therapy, but it does take a really long time. And one of the things that's frustrated me over the years is I would often go into therapy and say, just tell me. I don't really want to discover this myself. If you know the answer, if you know what I need, just tell me. And isn't that more kind of along the lines of what I hear you saying? If somebody really wants the information, you can give it to them.
Absolutely. I can identify right away within the first session of what the root problem might be, whether it be mom issues, dad issues, or a traumatic experience that happened when they were 2.
So are therapists and life coaches just solving the same problems with a different tool set? Meaning you take a different approach, but it's the same type of clients that you might be working with? Or are there certain people that would go seek a therapist and others who would seek a life coach, and they each have their separate place?
Well, ideally, people who seek therapists, who I would not take in as a client, as a life coach, are people who may have severe traumas to work out, and it's really affecting their everyday life, maybe extreme addictions, extreme chronic depression, extreme cases of schizophrenia, for example, extreme mental illness. I am not authorized to diagnose or help with that according to the American Psychological Association. It's different. So if you're in dire need of mental health and crisis intervention, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, I'm assuming you're whole for the most part. Your life is okay for the most part, and you need a little push. You need somebody to just like help you out. You're a go-getter, and you just need that motivation.
So there's not an underlying disorder in the people you work with that you're working on, because if there's an underlying disorder or mental illness, they really need a different kind of help than you provide. But if somebody's relatively normal, they just have developed bad habits, or they're stuck, or they need some guidance on, that's where you come in.
Absolutely.
And this works how? If somebody hires you to be their coach, how does that manifest itself in a day-to-day basis? Do you have an appointment with them once a week kind of thing where you go over? So tell me that, and then I want to talk about accountability.
Yeah, so it's weekly sessions, an hour long, once a week, over the phone, Skype, or in person. Most of my clients are via Skype. It's just more convenient.
Right.
I have sessions in traffic.
Right.
That's my clients are in traffic.
They're in traffic.
They're in traffic, not me. I'm giving them my attention. Okay. They're in traffic. They're just trying to fit me in.
I was going to say, you really have this wired if you can do this while you're driving.
2 clients at a time
in
traffic. So they're 1 hour sessions weekly. And
I'm guessing if you're dealing with people that are running companies and they're in business, that they need some accountability at some point in time. Do you provide that as well?
Absolutely.
We're gonna get back to the accountability, and then what we're gonna try to do with a celebrity host that you are gonna be part of. I'm very excited about this. The topics we're gonna come up with, I can't wait to get back to this. Sonya Gomez is here, founder of Inspire SD Life Coach. InspireSDLifeCoach.com is the website. This is BizTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Kanata.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
By the way, Pete, I'd go to the game with you today, but my daughter's playing at 4 o'clock.
You gonna watch online?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bust it home as quickly as I can, so I can.
I'll let you know we're out here again. I think next week.
Where's it at?
Torrey Pines. So
okay.
He goes to Rancho Bernardo, but we're playing at Torrey Pines today.
Your son's playing?
Yeah.
What position?
Freshman baseball.
Freshman?
Would you like an in-studio picture while you're here?
Bob,
what position is he?
Can you add Junior to my name? Sorry.
Yeah.
Left field.
Can you get her picture?
We interviewed Boch.
Yeah.
Bruce Bochy.
He's my neighbor. He lives like 5 houses up.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing a series of these shows. In fact, that's kind of where it came from.
I've ever seen.
Called Bourbon with Boch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Do you know him?
Neat, really nice guy.
I tried to get a position.
I don't know him personally.
I told him I'd play outfield for him.
There you go.
I have heart, no talent, just heart. So
The
he
guy
liked,
who says he
liked
knows
my
nothing
bow
about
tie.
sports.
He
Perfect.
liked my bow tie.
I don't blame you.
My father played back in.
You told me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing. He played pro ball in Italy for a couple of years out in Anzio, just south of Rome.
What are you laughing at?
Good.
I like blinked and closed my mouth
Oh.
when I was taking a picture.
Don't forget to add
You did, I saw that, so-
It's gonna look great.
What's that?
Pete Chirino Jr.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Problem is, there's 400 Pete Chirino. We're like the Greek wedding. My dad's Pete, I'm Pete, my son's Pete. My brothers have 4 boys, they're all Pete's.
Which one's repeat? Is that a
Repeat.
joke?
Yeah. Okay, we're
Yeah.
back in, guys.
Probably never heard that before.
Nah, never heard repeat
Oh,
before,
boy.
right?
Welcome back. You're listening to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. And we are broadcasting from the ESET studios. ESET Internet Security. Do more. And want to podcast at this show? Well, of course you do. Go to ESPN1700.com. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canado.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Glad to have you with us. Sonya Gomez is here. She's founder of Inspire SD Life Coach. The website is that same name, Inspire. Well, no, wait. It's InspireLifeCoach.com, right?
Inspire SD Life.
Oh, it is Inspire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. It's hard when you're looking at it right in front of you to get it. It's much easier when I don't have anything in front of me written down. Anyhow, you're a life coach.
Yes.
We're talking about the fact that you work with people a little bit differently than therapists do. You actually can give direction to people. It's a much faster way if you're not mentally ill or have a abnormal personality issue, and you've got the ability to function normally, and you're just stuck, and you need some advice and help. You're the person to go to for this, correct?
Yes.
You do this generally in a weekly 1-hour session on Skype or phone or in person. Skype is what you use a lot of. I was asking about accountability. Do you hold people accountable as well?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many?
You
of
just said that with some passion
Oh,
in your
yeah.
eyes. I actually saw passion when you said that. That must be a big part of what you're doing.
People pay me to hold them accountable for goals they can probably do themselves. A lot of us write goals down, right?
Right.
And we say, I'm going to do this, this, and that for my business, for my personal life. Get to from couch to 5K or whatever. And they pay me to hold them accountable.
So how do you, let's say somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do. Do you get your mother on and kind of act very matronly, or like, are you like a football coach where you yell at them, or do you just express disappointment in a quiet fashion?
I put a mirror to their face.
Ah,
It's, you're paying me because you want to reach these goals and you're not doing this. It's really dependent on the person. Some people are a little more sensitive. Some people need a different
I'm
approach.
sensitive. How would you handle me if I'm sensitive? Would
Well,
you be
Bob,
nice to me?
course.
See, this is how
But,
I get.
yeah, I need a
I'm
little-
going to get free coaching.
Yeah, I will give you a little push. Absolutely. You want goals to be set, and you want to reach certain goals.
Now we talked after you were on the show because I really like the way you address the situation, and I've talked to a fair amount of coaches over the period of time, and I think you've got a really unique way, and you're really young too, which is interesting to me. So you bring a different attitude to it, I think, than maybe some older people might bring. But we talked a little bit about the fact that what you do and your background is a lot broader than just coaching. Talk a little bit about your background and your education and what you've done in the past.
Yeah, so for about 7 years, I've been working with at-risk youth. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology, focusing on race, social class, and gender. I have a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. So I worked with foster youth or at-risk youth with severe mental illness or behavioral problems. And I went on working with veterans with severe mental illness. And I still work with at-risk youth at times. So that's pretty much my background, rehabilitation counseling and reintegrating people back into society and how to work again or give back to society through volunteering.
Now, the concept of the show, the believing is seeing concept, is something that I'm very attached to. So when we talked, I asked you if we would have the ability to do a series of shows on topics maybe even a little bit broader than the coaching. For instance, one of the topics that came up that I hadn't thought about before is human trafficking. San Diego, from what I understand, is the #1 human trafficking city in the United States right now. And this is something you've worked in this field as well, with some victims of human trafficking, correct?
Yeah.
So one of the things we want to take a look at is this kind of topic, but also things like addictions. You were bringing up the fact that people are now addicted to cell phones, and they're getting counseling and therapy for cell phone addiction, also social media addiction. Talk a little bit about that.
Social media addiction is huge, especially working with the adolescents. And there's a huge amount of adults with social media addiction. The colors and the psychology used to create these social media apps it's the same psychology in advertising and marketing as casinos, as slot machines. It's meant to bring out that addiction part of your brain.
So they hide the clock on the computer too? Because they hide the clock in casinos, so you can't tell what time it is.
They hide the clock, and there's no window, so you can't see outside.
And there's no windows, you can't tell whether it's night or day.
Right, so you've got all these pretty colors on the slot machines and on the carpet that directs you towards the slot machines. I know, I used to work at a casino.
That's right, you did. Well, think about it. So Facebook, right, when you get a notification, it's in red. And if it was in green, it'll do a completely different thing with your brain. But because it's in red, I need to check that notification right away. Who liked my picture? Who?
Seriously, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way I understand it, it triggers a lot of the same things that meth would do, or even heroin in your brain. And you can imagine kids are getting addicted as young as 3, 4, 5 years old when they first start getting introduced to these screens. One of the differences, though, is when you quit meth or heroin, the idea is that you're never going back. It's hard for somebody to come out of treatment, I would imagine, and see phones everywhere. I mean, it's just an accepted part of life.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, how do we navigate that?
It's kind of like
how do you
addiction.
go back into a world where basically everybody's using heroin, right, to a certain extent or another?
It's still very new, and actually Selena Gomez, a very, very famous celebrity, she went to rehab for Instagram addiction.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she had
Is that a thing? I mean,
it's a thing. So she had to have an assistant do all her Instagram social media marketing, and she just couldn't get on it. But when all your friends, I don't think I have very many friends who do not have social media one way or another. It's hard. It's something that's new. But it's willpower
I'm probably on a personal basis one of the least users of the cell phone. I really very seldom ever check my phone. Really makes everybody angry though. My sisters are mad at me right now. My ex-wife's upset with me because she says I don't return her texts or her phone calls. It just seems like if I'm not attached to that phone, if I don't get back to people really fast, it becomes problematic. So if somebody does have an addiction, they need help in how to communicate that to their friends, right?
Absolutely. And it's having a support system, a support base that is okay with you not being
I just gave myself an idea. I should just tell everybody I have an addiction problem just to the phone, and that's why I don't answer my phone calls.
They'll be more understanding.
Yeah.
Give me that phone.
There we go. That's what we're going to do.
So I think a big part of what I'm hearing is you teach people how to manage that aspect of their life. If it has become a problem, what we're terming addiction, to social media in this case, or to the phone, you teach them how to manage that, like Selena Gomez putting an extra layer in there and having her assistant help.
So I don't focus on curing or treating addictions. What I would like to do with the segment, with what I'll be doing here with BISTalk,
the celebrity host time, yes.
Being a celebrity host,
right.
We'll be discussing addiction, stuff that I've worked with in the past, and new upcoming addictions that are arising, like the opioid addictions.
Now, you have worked with some victims of the sex trade or human trafficking, right? What I would hope is at some point in time, maybe we could bring on people that have been through some of this stuff, maybe some people that are recovering addicts or have been involved in that. I'm really excited about the 13-week topics we're going to put together. Sonya Gomez is here, founder, Inspire SD Life Coach. .com is the website. This is BISTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Canada.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. So when we come back in this time, I'm Montana, I'm Aaron, I'm Sonya, I'm Bob.
Okay.
Start integrating you into the show because I know he's going to do it.
I've been doing it over here while you guys. You're not even on the mic yet.
Never had a guest introduce himself as we come back on the air. Tell him.
And it was priceless.
I remember I did it, and Bob looks at me like he started laughing. He goes, "Did you really?"
Yeah, he did.
Then I got mad because Aaron stepped in one time before me. I said, hey, come. You gotta wait your turn, man.
Oh, man. You think my ear's hot?
They do?
Yeah.
It takes it does take getting some used to.
I actually was thinking about a comedy bit for Cell Phones Anonymous. Right, you go to a group and you're helping me. Yeah, I'm a
SNL
CPA,
comedy.
but not that kind. And I had it fleshed out in my head. It was pretty funny.
What was this CPA stand
Cell
for?
Phones Anonymous.
Cell Phones Anonymous.
Oh, cell phones and CPA. Yeah.
Is that one of those when you're sitting in traffic and then people are looking at you and you're just laughing to yourself?
I actually very interested in doing stand-up comedy at some
So
point.
am I.
Just for the sake of it. I have no idea if I'd be any good, but I've come up with like bits throughout the years that I think
guys,
if
you're
I
about
flesh them
25
out could be
seconds.
pretty damn funny.
People told me, I'll write for you. You just go up there and deliver.
He's a
He's a
comedian,
stand-up
like,
comedian.
really.
Our engineer is.
3 seconds. Welcome back. You are listening to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. We'd like to take this moment to thank our award-winning engineer, Jeff Bilodeau, our music by Derek Audette, our interns, Sarah, Andrew, Leah, Dan, and in studio with us is Andrew. Welcome back, Andrew. It's good to see you. We couldn't do it without them. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Sonya Gomez.
I'm Aaron Kanata.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Hey, you're integrated into the show now.
That's it. You're official.
Was that the initiation?
That's the initiation.
Awesome.
That's it. Now you are officially a celebrity host. on our show.
Card-carrying, dues-paying member. So if you just get your checkbook out.
Nice.
I like the way you think. We didn't invite you in for anything other than getting a check, right? So, Sonya Gomez, founder, Inspire SD Life Coach. You are a life coach, but you have a little, I think you have a little bit different twist on it than a lot of coaches do. Mm-hmm. One of the things I like about you is your background is in a lot of life coaches come out of other areas, right? You come out of the psychological and the kind of that whole sociology background. Mm-hmm. So you get a lot of things that I think maybe others wouldn't. And that must be helpful. I'm hoping in the series that we're putting together, we can bring some interesting topics to the listening audience that may be things they've never thought of or heard about. I want to get back to the human trafficking. Is all human trafficking related to sex? Are they interchangeable, sex trafficking? What other reason?
There's also labor.
Labor, that's right.
trafficking.
I guess you could human traffic for labor someplace, right? But you have worked with victims of this?
I have.
What is it like for the recovery of somebody like that?
It's not easy.
I mean, I would imagine you can go through a whole lot of things, but being taken, kidnapped, and then used for sex or used for labor, and then maybe finding a way out of that has got to be one of the most unbelievable experiences somebody could have.
Well, oftentimes it's not really being kidnapped like you would picture in a movie. It's being manipulated into thinking, I'm your boyfriend, or I'm going to be a father figure to you or a mother figure to you. I will take you in, usually with runaways or children or adolescents who come from bad homes, bad backgrounds. I'm going to take care of you and be this paternal, maternal figure. Oh, but wait, I need money. I know a way for you to make money for me. And it's pretty much drugged me into doing what they want.
I never thought about that. So it's not necessarily
It's a slow process.
It's not necessarily somebody that gets kidnapped off the street. Mm-mm. It's somebody that may have been manipulated into it. So is there a system to bring people in like this, or is it like opportunistic? Or do predators go out and look for this?
There is a system. They say when a child runs away, if you haven't heard from them for 48 hours, they've probably been taken in by some sort of human trafficking. Yes, and it's looking for the runaways, looking for the lonely children in certain parts of town, alone on the trolley, whatever it may be.
You know, as you work, you live in the Southern California area. As you talk to people here, are people generally aware of this? Because I know we're aware of a lot of things, but the things that you're bringing to the table, like the human trafficking and the cell phone addiction, the social media addiction. I think you mentioned one other one. I can't remember what it was, but before we were going on air, something else that I found fascinating that people are getting addicted to.
We talked about compassion fatigue.
Compassion fatigue, yeah.
With
So the
helpers,
things that you're bringing to the table, I think, will be fascinating to the listening audience. So have you thought about what you are interested in talking about as we go through these 13 weeks?
Yeah, there's so many things, and it's going to be interesting for the audience as well, going over the human trafficking or adolescents' behavioral problems and addiction between adolescents. That's something parents don't really talk about, and you've had experience with it. It's kind of swept under the rug.
Yeah.
You know, people don't talk about their kid is addicted to drugs or alcohol, but they're not alone. There's so many.
So when a parent does have a child that maybe is acting a lot differently, or they think there might be something wrong, I don't think a lot of parents know what to do. If you suspect there's a problem with your child, the decisions you have to make: do you invade their room? Do you start going through things? Do you put them on restriction and maybe make things even tighter for them and maybe make things worse? I think a lot of parents have no clue what to do. So are we going to address that kind of situation in the time as well?
Yes.
I'm very interested in this.
And even just knowing what to look for, how to identify it, right? It's one thing to know that that's going on and not know how to approach it, but just to know how to identify some of these issues is probably pretty difficult.
Yeah, identifying it early on, not when your child's already got the DUI. It's what are the first warning signs? Yeah.
The topics, I think, are almost limitless. The ones that we just mentioned here are fascinating, and I'm hoping, as we talked about a little bit before, that maybe we can bring on other therapists, other people that work in these areas. What about rehabilitation? Have you worked in, your degree is in...
My master's degree is in rehabilitation counseling, and I am a certified rehabilitation counselor.
Well, then I'm going to take advantage of you while we're on the air. I'm going to get some help. Because I'm sure I have something I need help with, right?
Yeah.
The topics moving forward and what we're doing here, I think, will be fascinating. How will this impact you as an individual? I mean, you're a life coach, and now you're going to commit to 13 weeks of celebrity hosting on BISTalk. What do you think you're looking at out of this as an individual for you?
I'm hoping to spread awareness of all this stuff that's taboo, considered taboo to the general population. I'm hoping to find a sponsor who could help me and spread awareness through their specific rehabilitation centers or whatnot, to spread their name and what they do to help the community, help the individuals who are in need.
So for you, it's almost like you have this mission. Aside from just coaching people, you really do want to get awareness out there about things that are new in our world, because up until just recently, I didn't even know human trafficking was a thing. And then I find out, I mean, in the United States anyway, and then I find out San Diego is the center of the world in the the center of what we do in the United States. And I'm guessing it's because of our proximity to the border here in San Diego and maybe even the port.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
Are you working in that arena as well, or is your coaching the way you make your money, and this is something that you do kind of separately on the side, is making people aware of this?
I work with the arena as well. I work with at-risk youth about once or twice a week, and a lot of them are victims of human trafficking.
So do you have capacity to take on more clients at this time?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So if somebody is interested in accessing your coaching services, they would get to you through the website.
Yes, InspireSDLifeCoach.com. InspireSDLifeCoach.com.
How about rates? I know that different coaches charge different rates. Is there kind of a standard in the industry now, like therapy might have standards from one therapist to the other? Are coaches more standard today, or is it range all over the place in terms of price?
It ranges all over the place in terms
right
of
now
price.
It does?
How yeah. What kind of coach are you looking for? How experienced is the coach? You know, it's all dependent on the client. You get what you pay for.
You do, really?
You do.
That's very good to know.
You
get what you pay for. If somebody works with you over a long period of time, is there a price break if they sign it for like 10 years?
Yes. Yes, they will get a price break if they sign up for 10 years with me.
InspireSDLifeCoach.com. Sonya Gomez, I'm so excited about your 13-week series.
I'm excited too.
Let's keep working on this, develop a great curriculum. Sonya Gomez, founder, Inspire SD Life Coach. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. This is BizTalk. Up next, Pete Chirino Jr. from European company I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And
I'm
Aaron
Sonya
Kanata.
Gomez.
Sorry, twice I did that.
We'll get it figured out. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good job.
All right, let's
Thank
get you
you.
switched up.
Alrighty.
So am I waiting last? I'm going last.
If that's what you want to do.
Well, we
Oh, you
should
know I'm
probably
cutting in.
agree on something.
He's
so.
You know I'm cutting in.
How do you want to do it? You figure it out. Whatever you want to do.
I'll go after you, Aaron. You want to go?
All
I'll
right.
go before.
Well, I mean, I'm
I'll go before Uncle Bob.
accustomed.
Yeah.
229, 230, 30. Okay on the volume.
Yeah. She has more hair than I do. Keeps
Yeah.
Andrew's got enough hair for everybody.
I know. Andrew.
Yeah, he's rocking it.
I tried the dreadlocks look.
Was that dreadful?
It's called the dreadful look, not the dreadlocks.
What'd you
I
say?
think you're okay.
It's the dreadful look, not dreadlocks.
Yeah.
All right.
Be more like a dreadlock. Just
If I do it around the cul-de-sac, it works. on
around the
side.
cul-de-sac.
It's right down
There's-
the middle. Is the problem. You
have
got a
you-
lot of hair too. It just curls up. See?
I'm the only one in my family. My father was pretty much bald by
Okay,
the time he
guys,
was
we're coming
23.
in.
His dad has no hair. He's just shaved.
God bless. his
Looks
heart.
good though.
Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. And are you brave enough to see how the sausage is made? Well, are you? Mm-hmm. Are you a true bizhead? Come backstage and into the studio with us. Watch us on our BizTalk Radio Facebook page. That's BISTalk. See us with our guests and watch this overly oiled machine in action. And by all means, comment, like, and share us. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Kanata.
And I'm Pete Chirino Jr.
And I'm Bob Ryan. It's funny. Pete Chirino Jr.'s here, European company. Our other celebrity host.
Yes.
Very excited about this. Now, you're an interesting guy, Pete. I mean, of all the guests and the 10,000 plus interviews I've done, I've never had a guest jump in and say, I'm Pete Chirino Jr. as we're coming back. And you did. You just owned this.
Well, you got to believe in what you're doing.
That's right. Believing is seeing talk radio, right?
Take over things.
That's right.
A legend in his own mind.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, I think you're built for this. You really are. You're in the wrong business doing granite countertops. I mean, you really need to be a celebrity personality.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
radio is definitely better for me than TV.
Well, actually, we're on Facebook,
Yeah.
so we got video too, right?
Yeah, but that's only from the waist up is good.
You make it look good.
Yeah, that's it.
So let's talk about European company. What do you folks do there, and then why are we doing a show with you?
So we're granite and marble fabrication installation company. We have over 120 employees here locally in San Diego. My parents started the business, Pete Sr. and Kathy. This year is actually our 40th anniversary. So we're going to have a
Go, Mom and Dad.
big 40th
Yep.
party. And we just service the community. People need countertops. They need stone floors. They need showers. They need anything. We're the people to go to.
Now, interesting. You guys did a reality show. Your family did a reality show, right?
Yes.
And you called it
Family Stoners.
Family Stoners. I like the get stoned with Pete thing, right? Because
That's
it's
not a
legal.
bad
We
thing.
can talk about pot now on the air, which is really bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness I was never part of that.
No, okay, so the
you know,
stone
so
that you
that's
do
good
is a
thing.
little bit different. It's like real stone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if I was stoned trying to do stone, it would never work out good.
That's true.
A stone stoner.
Yeah, especially I like to eat.
Yeah.
If I was stoned and then really, it'd be really bad.
You weigh 500 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do like big volume stuff though. This is not like one little countertop at a time. You guys supply some big retail outlets as
Yes,
well.
we supply the big box stores. We supply 90% of track work here in San Diego. We also do high-end custom homes, and we're a production facility, but also a high-end finished product.
You've done. Can you name? You're a celebrity host, but you've done some really big name celebrity homes. Can you talk about any of those on air?
Yeah, we did John Moore's house, who's the owner of the Padres
Right.
before, out in Pebble Beach. We did.
Does he have any money to do anything cool?
He did until he got divorced. So,
I thought you were going to say until he bought the
Unfortunately-
Padres.
actually, no. We're in the process of bidding some more work for him now. He's
cool.
building some stuff out here back in Rancho Santa Fe. We did Richard McWilliams, who was the owner of Upper Deck Trading Cards. So anybody that's
Yeah, great,
familiar with
great company.
baseball cards. But we've done a few people that don't want their names mentioned, and we also did a
Well, let's
reality
talk
show.
about them then. That would be the fun thing.
We also
If they
did a
don't want their
reality
name
show
mentioned.
with Bill Walton.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so we did a bathroom with Bill. That was called Bath Brothers because Family Stoners with Bill probably would have worked really good. But that was called Bath Brothers. We did some bathroom remodel work for him.
You did Bill's bathroom.
Yep,
And that was turned into an episode on television, right?
that was for HGTV.
What
Yeah.
was so interesting about a bathroom that it made a TV show?
Oh man, we tore that thing up. He had an old garage that we converted into a day spa type bathroom and built.
Wait, you converted a garage
Yeah.
into a bathroom.
Yep. And then
Was
we
it
made
like a gold-plated toilet, or I mean, what do you do with a garage into a bathroom?
So if you go to Vimeo, Vimeo,
Yeah.
Bath Brothers,
Yeah,
you'll
you'll
see
see
it
it.
there. Yeah, we did. That was a good plug-in. You
Yeah,
see
that
Well,
was
the
a good
garage
plug,
and the
yes.
bathroom are the two sanctuaries for men, right? So it makes perfect sense to marry them.
Exactly.
It does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Bill's a deadhead. He likes the Grateful Dead.
Yep.
So we did a Grateful Dead mural in his shower. We did some.
Did you do that out of mosaic or a painting or
It
what?
was out of glass mosaics.
Glass
called
mosaics.
Bazazza, which were the distributor here locally in Southern
Bazazza?
Bazazza.
That sounds like an Italian dessert.
Yeah, kind of.
It does, yeah.
Worth a lot more
What
money. but-
what is that? Is that like a custom-made glass
It's
type?
glass tile. They have some that are, gold. They have some white gold. They have some regular just glass tiles, but it's very high end. You get a lot of knockoffs in marble
Yeah.
and granite. You get
Do
some
you get free
overseas.
samples of that stuff? Because I'm thinking maybe 200-300 square feet of free samples.
Yeah, I can put some together.
Yeah,
Might be
okay.
different colors. But that's all right.
So how does a
That's the new
stone
checkerboard.
How does a
checkerboard.
stone fabricator get into the television? Is your family all characters like you, and somebody recognized that you guys would make for great video and be on television, or were you interested and you reached out?
So, as most people, I always wanted to be famous, right? I always wanted to walk down the streets. Hey, that's Pete Chirino. Not, oh, hey, that's Pete Chirino.
Well, keep coming on the show. We'll get you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I did a lot of acting stuff when I was younger. I did some commercials and TV shows, movies, and
Ergo, the
And-
celebrity host.
yeah.
Yes.
And I've always enjoyed it, and it was always my little cup of tea. But my parents started a great business, a great company, and that's
One thing we got to
what
talk about. You gave us a tour of your facility, your
Yes.
factory there. One of the things that just is so amazingly impressive is not only the people that work there, but the machines they use to do this work. You don't cut this marble with like saws anymore, right?
Well, we have bridge saws, but you can't just use like a regular tile saw. But we also have a water jet.
Talk about
Yeah.
that real quick.
So a water jet cuts at 60,000 psi. So that's 60,000 pressure
Pounds per.
pounds
Per
Yeah.
square inch.
per square inch. Exactly. Thank
Wow.
you. I was that.
Not something you want to run your finger in.
No, so it cuts with water and grit mixed in, and we'll cut a sink on there in 4 to 5 minutes, where it'll take somebody, an hour and a half.
And
to
I was
do.
amazed at the clean edge that produces. It is bizarre. I don't know that you could do that with a tool of some sort.
No.
But the water and the grit spraying through, and it sprays this little teeny tiny
Yeah, it's
jet.
about a 16th to an eighth of an inch wide.
Wow.
And like Sonya was saying, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Right?
What do these machines cost? I mean, if somebody wants to go buy one, what do you pay for one of those?
We have some are about 200,000,
Whoa.
a couple hundred.
So it's not something I'm going to put in my garage for my part-time stuff I do.
No, it'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Would it fit in the garage? How big are these?
No, it's
No,
really-
it's
No.
huge.
Okay.
It wouldn't fit in my garage. It's a pretty good
But
size
back
machine.
in '78, that's where my dad started, in a little garage, and they were cutting things by hand with little skill saws, like.
You know the fun thing about we went out there, we saw the old pictures of what they started with, and it seems like you guys just keep eating up area down there. You just keep expanding it, but you're still expanding. You're still growing. I mean, you're
Yes.
still doing some cool things, and you have products on a nationwide, worldwide basis. We'll talk about those when we get back. We got to go to a break.
No problem.
Pete Chirino Jr. is here, president of European Company. EuropeanCompany.com is the website. This is BISTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We'll get some more pictures of
You are
We
so
don't have
damn.
enough of your handsome face.
That's it.
What you don't know about Orange Movement is that they've been fighting for
Beautiful.
Yes, you are, Pete. Strikingly.
Oh man.
I think we're going to have fun doing this. I like
Oh, yeah.
this idea. It brings a new element to the show, and it takes some of the pressure off of us to do everything. Just doing 5 days a week's a lot, but we can always do 3 more hours a day. We got
That's
a lot
it.
of time we can take.
A little louder. I think Facebook would appreciate hearing what you just whispered.
How you doing?
Back it up.
When you whisper,
hear
it just
again.
sounds so much more serious.
I know.
Your mom's scratching her head saying, I can't dedicate
Yeah,
that
my
much
mom's
time to the
turning
show.
up her hearing aids right now, right?
Like, it'll take over.
That's a good point. Got 30 seconds before we come in. Dad started with $17 in his pocket,
He was 17 years old.
17 years old, and
Came here, didn't speak a word of English, and taught
But he
himself
knew
how to-
Vito.
The Colombo.
he knew the Columbos.
Oh, come on, we don't want to talk about Vito. Vito!
Told you the story
Okay,
about
guys.
Vito.
Yes, yes.
Okay, guys.
We're not repeating that
No,
already.
we're not.
It's all good. We're coming back in. Welcome back. You're listening to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. And we are broadcasting from the ESET studios. ESET Internet Security. Do more. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
I'm Pete Chirino Jr.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Pete Chirino Jr. is our celebrity host with us today. We're talking about the series that we're putting together, and you're going to do this. I mean, you've got a lot of ideas about what you want to do on this series, which will give a lot of information, but not just information about what people can do to make their home a better place, but maybe some business tips too. I mean, you guys are really involved in the business community here in a big way, the construction development industry. You guys provide products for big box stores.
Yep.
So when they walk into, can we mention the name of them?
Sure.
When they walk into Home Depot and they see the granite there, that's generally your product, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's, yes, sir.
And
Wow.
Lowe's.
That little company?
And Lowe's. Home
Yeah.
Depot and
And-
Lowe's.
yeah.
Lowe's,
So,
yes.
and then you're getting into the commercial arena as well and
Yep.
doing some expansion now. So, do your folks know you're doing this, by the way?
Oh, yeah. My mom, my dad.
Yeah, okay. So we're not trying to keep it a secret.
No,
They
no,
know
no.
you're playing hooky from work today.
Oh, yeah. I'm always working.
Yeah.
Did they know you're expanding into the commercial arena?
Yes, they're a big part of it. And we're also
hope so.
opening we're getting into the Korean market now. So we're opening a new 5,000 square foot facility, hopefully by April 1st.
Wow.
And
And Corian is another man-made, like, quartz.
Yeah, but it's a little bit softer. It's on the solid surface, they call it. So we got approached to take that line on, and we got together and made a business decision that it would be good for us and good for our company to
That's
expand
it.
in that
Opening up a
market.
5,000 square foot facility is no cheap process. I mean, this was a fairly reasonably decent decision for you.
Yeah, we figured who else is going to do it besides us.
Yeah, well,
There's nobody better than us, so why not do it? Why not take it all?
So when you're looking at doing this 13-week, other than the fact that you just really love being in the public eye and
Of course.
acting and on
Oh,
radio and things, other than that, which is a blast to do,
Mm-hmm.
but what is your reasoning for doing this? I mean, is this something you're looking to create content for European company, or are you looking to establish relationships with or get a message out? What are you hoping to get out of this?
Kind of all the above.
Yep.
Luckily, being in this business for so long, I don't only know countertops or floors. I've seen houses be built. I've seen mistakes happen on different parts. So I want to be able to help people out. People have questions of, what kind of permits do I need? Or can you do it this way? Or can you redo cabinets this way? Can you change the sink without changing this? There's so many small little details that a lot of people don't know because they don't see it. And I've seen it basically my whole life. And I have a great support staff around me that helps me. And we have great big local businesses that I'm hoping to bring
I
in.
was very impressed as we walked through your factory that your employees bowed as you came by.
Well, it's two
They really
things.
think a lot of you.
Yeah,
He was dropping $10
were-
bills all the way through.
Oh, that's what it was.
yeah. I have a saying that I'm nothing without the employees.
Yes.
Because
And you do
Can't
have
do
a
everything
family.
yourself.
You really have a family environment there.
Yes.
It feels very much
And you,
like
and you
that.
have a lot of long timers with you too.
yes, actually we brought back. We have a new vice president in. His name is Gino Russo. It's a nice Irish boy. So Gino was one of the first 4 that started with my dad back in 80, I think, 78, 80, around there. And he was with us for 18 years. He went and did some other ventures, and he sold a bunch of stuff, was retired. And I said, hey, come back, help me, let's run this thing. And it's great he was my mentor when I was a kid, so it was great to have him back and be able to pick his brain. Along with my father and my mother are there every day, and so I have a great support staff and a great staff there at European.
So the European company is a regional company here in the Southern California area, correct?
Yes.
But you do have another product that we haven't talked about yet that your family owns.
Yes.
That's national in scale.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
So we have a product called Granite Gold. So Granite Gold is a cleaning product for your counters, your floors, any stone base, and there's also specialty cleaners for stainless steel. My brother Lenny runs that part of that business, and we're in roughly, I want to say, 24,000 stores worldwide. We're in Home Depot and major grocery stores. And
24,000 stores.
Yeah.
Is that kind of cool when you walk into a store and see your product on the shelf? I mean, that's got to be interesting.
It really is, and I give a ton of credit to my brother. He runs that business. He does everything there. He started off as road shows, doing radio interviews like this at shows and events, and build it up from nothing to a great business that they're running there. So,
what's the risk you run if you don't clean granite properly? Can you completely ruin the surface? I mean, what are some of the things that can happen?
So people will try to use Windex, and they think, oh, Windex, but Windex has ammonia in there, and ammonia will actually hurt countertops. So you want to. We invented this product who's been doing stone for 30 years. We're not just some bottling company or somebody that just comes up with a product. So it's like your car. If you want your car to stay nice, you don't just use water.
Right.
Right?
It's
Use
a good
something
analogy.
that's not going to hurt it.
Right.
So we have a polish. It's like an arm roll. You put it on once a week, and it keeps it nice and smooth, and makes your counters look good.
So I can put the sandpaper away and use this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Sandpaper's not good for
Not so
granite.
much.
No, it dulls it a little bit.
Just
I found
scratch
out.
it just a
Yeah,
little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
But it does keep the surface from being too slick. If you give it a little bit of roughness.
Take a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of steel
if you
wool
want-
and some
yeah, there
toothpaste
you
and
go.
just
That's awesome.
have at it.
I think we've gone down that road far enough.
So quick question. How do people find out information about these aftercare products?
So if you go to European's website,
Okay.
www.europeancompany.com, there's links to Granite Gold on there as well. As European, we just started a protection plan through Granite Gold. We offer our clients for $299, you get a 5-year protection plan, which covers scratches, chips,
Oh, that's terrific.
caulking.
Now, is this only on the installations you do?
Yes.
So they can't come to you if somebody else has put in their granite.
No.
It needs to be your installation.
It's got to be installed right.
That's a good point. By the way, that's an interesting question. Do countertops or granite get installed incorrectly?
Oh, there's plenty of guys trying to pick up prefabricated pieces, trying to cut them outside in their house. And, I always recommend, look, there's plenty of work for everybody, right?
Right.
But use somebody licensed, use somebody you can trust that, you're going to have breakage in countertops. You don't want, you pay $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and all of a sudden a piece breaks and that guy's gone. And the money you thought you were saving, now you're spending double.
Cheap
Very
is
good point.
expensive.
Yeah.
What?
Cheap is expensive.
Cheap is expensive. I like that one.
That's a good one.
You use that
Yeah.
one?
I may have. I mean, it's
I
an
think,
old saying.
yeah,
I
it's-
certainly didn't invent it.
So, EuropeanCompany.com is the website. People can
Yes.
go there, and the countertop cleaner is called
Granite Gold.
Granite Gold.
Yes.
And that product, how many stores is that in?
I want to say roughly around 24,000. Don't quote me. I'm going to get my text is already blown up, so I
Yeah,
probably
okay.
blew it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're definitely,
And that's just in the stores in the U.S. or worldwide?
we're in Canada, Europe.
Okay.
worldwide.
International.
Yes.
No stopping you now.
So I might be a celebrity host. Bring my brother in here and let him
And
talk
can
to you
use
guys
that.
about Granite Gold.
Yeah,
You should.
and so the kinds of things that we're going to talk about are going to be, I want to say we're going to talk about business related kinds of things, but also home improvement tips.
Yes.
Like if somebody's going to upgrade their kitchen, how much value does that provide? Do they do it before they sell the house, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get back to that. Pete Chirino Jr. is here, of course, our celebrity host. This is BizTalk. I'm Bob Ryan,
I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
And I'm Pete Chirino Jr.
as I just said.
You work at the camera. You catching that?
Oh, yeah, I wink usually too.
You can put us out of a job.
Seeing
Pete.
is believing. Don't forget.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Oh, man.
We just got to figure out how to get you out of your shell.
I just got to make
I'm right.
I got to get Val Tyler in the next segment.
So we got one more segment.
More than 2,000 prizes. You have a 1 in
Oh, that was AT&T. I got a new phone yesterday. And my phone broke, and they're trying to. So you have a business account separate this one? Yeah. Oh, let's all go to one. Oh, I'm good.
They hit you with the sales pitch.
Oh.
I bought a Google phone and went on the Google plan. Did you know Google has a plan? It's called the 5 plan. Yeah, and they use T-Mobile, they use AT&T, and they use one other one. So it's always searching for a network. Absolutely hate it.
Okay, so they won't be a sponsor of the show.
He's just kidding.
No, I'm
No,
not.
he's not. I hate it too.
The phone annoys me.
But I thought you never answer your phone anyway.
I don't.
And that's why I hate it, because I'm the one answering his phone.
I don't think I've answered my phone, but maybe once in the last 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
It's scary. First thing I do, get up in the morning, check my emails. Because we have guys work at night.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah.
So
I'm
I check
not-
my emails,
The
make sure
difference
there's
is
no
you're
cancellations.
important. I'm not.
That's a good point.
See?
I don't blame you on that
Yeah.
one.
I'm
Okay.
addicted, and I do emails and
We're coming
news.
back in,
It's
guys.
not so much social media, but I religiously am checking
So
the
I don't,
Five
have
seconds.
I don't have Facebook and that stuff.
I don't even know where my phone's at half the time.
Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. And get a podcast of today's show, and actually any of our previous shows too. Now we're talking. Go to ESPN1700.com. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
And I'm Pete Sherino Jr.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Pete's here, President European Company. They do all kinds of stonework for your house. And I think if you're interested in learning more about it, the place to go would be EuropeanCompany.com. We're putting together a series of shows. You're going to be our celebrity host. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. But one of the things I'm fascinated with is you are the quintessential family business. You got your dad's office here, you got your mom's office here, your office is here, you've got an aunt or so in there, 3 or 4 cousins, people that are related but you don't know who they are.
Yep.
I mean, it's a real true family run business. How does that work in a family? I mean, you're together with your folks and family members all day long, every day, and then you spend holidays together and you go to events together. What's that like in terms of a dynamic?
Yeah, so we'll be at my mom's house for Easter. It's probably going to be 40 or 50 of us, immediate family.
The immediate family.
The one thing that's good is we all respect each other. We all respect what everybody's job is supposed to do. My parents pretty much, they're there, support, they understand the business. Same thing with me. They made me start when, they didn't make me start, I shouldn't say that, but I started when I was 14, 15 years old, so people will respect me because they know I've been through it. And that's, everybody at European, that's why we have 120 great employees, because people just do what they're there to do.
How do you settle disagreements? Is it important to have an ultimate decider? Is
They're
that
Italian. They got to have a special way of doing it.
You
Just
just,
scream at each other in
Sicilian.
Italian, right?
you
They're
just throw,
Sicilian.
you just throw things.
Yeah.
Just throw things.
As long as you're
No,
not throwing the puff.
But listen, I have the utmost respect for my parents, of course, so I would never, talk down to them or say anything. My father always told me, everything's about respecting. Respect your elders. Don't put my name in the dirt. And if you do that, people will respect you. So that's a great motto I've been going by. And, I talk to all our employees with respect, whether it's somebody sweeping the floor or somebody that's 10 years older than me.
You get kids.
Yes, 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yes.
How old are
and
they?
And a beautiful wife.
And a beautiful wife.
Yes.
But for the boys, by the way, you're into sports big time, right?
Yes.
In fact, you've got one of your sons has a game coming up.
My
right?
son, Pete Anthony's got a game right after this at 3:15.
And then you're going to be a celebrity host on ESPN. Does that impress them at all?
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
That-
You're
that
able
is
to
cool.
impress your
That
kids?
is cool. But then I
I've
got my
never been able to do that.
Well, I'm the cool dad.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
I got my son, AJ, who's 12, who's into sports. And what I ended up doing is I took sports and used it on a daily basis for my business.
I'm interested in that because you mentioned that before we went on
Yeah.
air. You're a real fanatic in terms of looking up stats and things like that. Is baseball kind of the
That's my sport.
That's
yeah.
your sport, right?
Yeah.
So we interviewed Boach just a little while ago.
Yeah, Boach's my neighbor up
You
the
said
street.
he lives right up the street from you, yeah. So how did you apply what you do in sports as a fan to how you're running your business?
So I'd go online all the time and check my favorite players, and I would check their stats of, they went 1 for 4, or what at bats they had, or what they did. And I said, I need to start doing that with each individual employee. Break them down. See, how they make us money, how they're working, what they're doing. They're going to make mistakes, just like somebody drops a pop fly or somebody strikes out. If you yell at that person when they strike out or drop a pop fly, it's not going to help them. It's not going to benefit them. You just encourage them. Hey, that's all right. We'll get it next time. And I really started doing that about 5 or 6 months ago, and it's really changed a lot of things, a lot of how I.
How do you measure things though when you're looking at, obviously with baseball, statistics are everything for baseball. I mean they have stats for how many shoelaces you go through in a year, right?
Exactly.
So how do you do that with your employees? Did you set up parameters or metrics for measuring?
So what I did is I broke down each employee of what their salary is, what they're making compared to what they're doing. And it's the same thing like somebody in baseball is making $8 million a year compared to somebody who's making $500,000 a year. They're still trying to do the same thing. Some guys might be better, some guys might not. The guy making $8 million might be way overpaid. So until I broke down of who's doing what supervisors I have in different areas, and a lot of it's about coaching and about my managers training the guys and giving them resources and giving them the tools they need to succeed. So if you don't give somebody the right path or the right tools to succeed, as she was saying, then they can't help themselves.
So the metrics you used, was it production then?
Yes.
So that you took each job and figured out what they were producing in that
cost and break them down, yes.
Did that give you any revolutionary information? Once you started doing that, did you find something out that really surprised you that you didn't know before you started that? Or was pretty much everything the way you thought it was going to be? This just allows you to fine-tune it.
Yeah, everything was what I thought it would be, but now everybody knows I'm really digging into it. So all of a sudden, the last month or so, you see a lot of change without me even saying anything.
Yeah, they have the optics that they know that you're watching them.
Yeah, so I have a couple meetings with some of the managers, tell them I'm doing this, and that. They relay that down, and now you walk by and there's a different atmosphere there.
So it's not just the fact that you're learning about what they're doing and getting the statistics and the productivity of each employee. It's the fact that the employee knows that there's a measuring system that you're using now that's definable. Because I think a lot of people that have employees, there's no way to measure something in a definable way. So it's all kind of gut, right? You came up with a system that puts some statistics to it.
Yeah, so it's the same thing of a coach having 9 players on the field. You have to coach each person differently. Each position is different. The left fielder is not the same as the catcher. Let's just say in baseball. Well, I have 120 employees. There's a lot more, so I needed more coaches. So now I have a coach to every 15, 20 people. So then you could really break down those 15 or 20
So
people.
have the coaches that are managing the smaller groups of people adopted the same metrics, and did you give them the metrics? And
that's all in works.
Did you create? I mean, did you like make a thing out of this? Is it like? Do I see like a Pete Chirino Jr. book with announcing a new model for business?
It could be. Honestly, I do a lot of driving. I live 30 minutes from the office, so it was a lot of driving back and forth. And I was doing my Little League lineup one day, and I was just like, man, this is very similar. If I'm trying to think of who's batting first, who's batting third. Well, this guy can hit this pitcher good. And then I started thinking of, it's the same thing with my guys. I can give this guy this kitchen because he'll do it faster than if I give this guy this one's more complicated. And it just started, playing off each other.
You're not just managing your employees. You've got other people involved. I mean, like vendors that you have to deal with. Do you have the same sort of system for them? Is there a way to evaluate them and what they do?
Good question again, Eric.
So one of my great suppliers is Del Tile, and Del Tile, I've got a great relationship with Greg Hudson there as a store manager, and Max, who's a Southern Regional manager. And when I talk with them, it's the same thing. It's like I'm talking to you guys. We all work together and make a team, and that's you got to be a team with your vendors just as you are with your employees.
Del Tile's is that a name consumers would be familiar with?
Yes, Del Tile is nationwide.
And they're
owned by Mohawk Floors. So
that's a big company.
They're multi-billion-dollar company, I believe.
And they have you use their products in what you produce and install.
Yes.
Good relationship, I hope.
Yes, those guys are good guys there.
You have a fair amount of vendors. You have a fair amount of customers. Do you apply the same metrics to your customers?
Oh, you have to. Customers is everything. If you don't have customers, you don't have anything. But I don't. If somebody comes in, I'm not going to turn them down because they're a horrible outfielder.
That's a good point.
As long as they got money to pay.
By the way, we interviewed Butch. I told you that, right? Yeah, I asked him for a position. He didn't give it to me.
Tell him LB.
LB. Left out?
Left
no,
bench.
Left bench. Left bench.
That's the best way. It still pays the same.
Well, I think because I wear a bow tie, he didn't care for my, he thought the bow tie was
Could
little.
be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Pete Chirino Jr., President, European Company, EuropeanCompany.com. I really want to say get stoned with Pete. I don't know why. It just
fine.
sounds so cool. You've been listening to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we walk the talk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Canada.
And I'm Pete Chirino Jr.
You folks go and have a great and prosperous day. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thanks for getting that in. I was like,
What's that?
Let's say goodbye to Facebook.
Facebook.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.